James.
And I'm Jamie.
And we love movies.
James, we talk a lot about how you can be in a movie in New England.
But never why. Why? Because we love it.
Because it's awesome, and you can make some money.
Yeah, that's why.
It's awesome. You can make some money. There's tons of things, tons of projects, TV and film that are working here in the New England area. We've got this great film credit. They keep coming. So right now we've got Love, Weddings, and Other Disasters, starring Diane Keaton, currently filming in and around the area. We've got Nosferatu, which is about a immortal who loves to devour children. Who doesn't love to devour children, really?
No,
James. Yeah.
I have a few baby cousins, and you could just eat them up.
Oh,
That's
I know,
how
they're so cute,
they are.
especially the baby toes, the little baby toes.
In that context,
thank you for saving that for me. And but you know what? We wanted to go to the horse's mouth. We wanted to find out from one of the people who is just top of her game in this industry here in New England, how you can be in a movie, what projects are coming, and how you can transform your life. Essentially, you can it could be either, a one-day stint where you get to say hi to Chris Evans and it's that single opportunity, or it could be a whole career change. And those are all of the opportunities that are available right here, right now in Boston. So we spoke to the head honcho, CEO and founder of Boston Casting. She had a lot to say on the subject, James.
Yeah, we could learn a lot from this discussion alone. If you're interested in the industry or don't even know anything about it and want to learn, this is the interview that you don't want to miss.
This is for you. All right, Boston. So here is our conversation with Angela Peri from Boston Casting.
So I think a lot of people outside of New England, outside of the Boston area, may not be aware of the film industry that we have here. Let's just start with Boston Casting, what you do and what you're all about.
Well, let's start with why Hollywood has chosen to come here. I think that's a really great place to start. Mm-hmm. Yes. Massachusetts in 2007, Governor Patrick signed a bill to have a tax incentive for filmmakers. For anyone that's spending over, I think it's $250,000, they get 25 cents on the dollar. So that perked everyone's ears up in Hollywood. And if you're making a $10 million film, do the math. So Hollywood now has decided to come here, and we shoot anywhere from, I'd say, 12 to 25 movies a year now here. Before 2007, we used to shoot about 3 movies here. Wow. They would come here and they would shoot the swan boats, the foliage. They would shoot the snow, and they would just really do exteriors of Boston. And now I've shot so many episodic television shows that have 10 to 12 episodes. Mm-hmm. We have actors. We did Pete Berg's movie Wonderland, 165 speaking roles. That's unheard of. So it's been really great for everybody involved, especially the Boston actor. They've been able to up their game and really have a career here. So no longer does the Boston actor have to go to New York or to L.A. to really feel like they're a full-fledged actor. They can actually do it here in their own hometown now. So it's amazing. Not to mention the crew, the taxis, or the Ubers, rather, the restaurants, everybody benefits. We have a gorgeous, gorgeous studio in Devon's, Mass., and we have Castle Rock up there right now and Defending Jacob. It's 2 television series happening here in Boston. It's kind of unheard of, but we're not complaining. We love it.
No, absolutely.
We hope it goes through. I think the bill goes through 2020. I'm not quite sure of the politics, but it's just been tremendous for our business, for sure.
Yeah, so the bill goes through 2022, and so I kind of suspect you might be pro extending it.
I was just at the State House last week. We had a rally where we went and spoke to the politicians, and I said my piece, how Boston Casting, I had 3 employees. After 2007, now I have 12 employees. We had a hallway that we had to put desks in to fit all the interns that worked there. I have 12 full-time employees and like 25 interns making phone calls all day long. We have a database of 100,000 people. I have 8 casting directors in that database starting at 5 a.m. till midnight every night looking for people for projects. It's been incredible. At Boston Casting, in the course of a week, we will audition anywhere from, on the low end, 5 people to, for Ted 2, when we did the Comic-Con scene, we had 4,000 people show up. So that's the amount of people that come through our building. It's great. I'm really blessed. I'm blessed. I thought I'd have a little, I started this company with waitress tips in 1991. I thought it would be a little part-time job for me because I loved the restaurant business and I really wanted to open a little Italian restaurant. That was my dream. So I thought the casting would be a little side gig. Well, I never got to open that restaurant because it just snowballed and it turned into this big company. Sometimes I walk in there and I go, oh my God, who owns this place? Look at all that's going on. And the phones are ringing like crazy and the interns are running around and who's breaking down a script. And we've got 3 studios running and there's little kids auditioning and old men auditioning. And it's exciting. It's really exciting. Every day's different. Mm-hmm. So we're really lucky like that.
So go ahead.
Yeah, no, speaking of side gigs, so it seems like it's not just an opportunity for the Boston actor, but maybe someone who is looking to do a little bit of work on the side and to kind of get their feet wet in the industry.
Well, here's what we love. For the extras, we love the retired. Because people that are on a fixed income and Social Security and they're retired, who's better than them? They get to come to set, make $100, spend the day with Mark Wahlberg, get a hot lunch, and the best part is you have to leave your phone in your car. So it's like the 1970s. Nobody can reach you. Now just think about that, though. It's actually really nice. It's almost like you're on vacation because you're not glued to your phone and you're living in real time. You're living in the present.
You get to have conversations with people.
And you can have conversations with people. And you're watching Mark Wahlberg and Pete Berg work together and work out a scene. It's fascinating. I mean, we had Martin Scorsese here, did Shutter Island. We did an American Express commercial with him. And I wanted to be an extra just so I could watch them. Watch Martin Scorsese
can you do
work
that?
the
You're
whole
in charge.
day.
You can
no,
be an
I can't be an
extra,
extra, but I can go to set and watch. And I do sometimes. I'm always so busy that it's hard to get to set. But like right now, we have Chris Evans shooting here. Huge fan of Chris Evans. The book Defending Jacob, everybody should read it. It is going to be a tremendous television show. We've also got Ryan Reynolds here shooting Free Guy. I mean, it's just so... and they're shooting the whole movie here. They didn't just come for 3 weeks. They're shooting the whole movie. But getting back to your question. So, yes, we love the retired. We also love people that are unemployed. If you're unemployed and in between jobs, do a couple of days of extra work. Make $300, $300. It's about $100 a day non-union. And... so you don't have to be an actor to be an extra. We're always looking for different looks on people. Like I have a scene coming up in one of my shows where we need inmates. So I need like rough-looking guys, scary-looking guys for inmates. We need kids for one of the TV shows that we're doing, outgoing kids. So we're always dipping into just, I call it the real people and not actors. But you do have to read my do's and don'ts for set etiquette because if you're not a real actor, you need to know how to carry yourself on set. You cannot go up to Mark Wahlberg or Chris Evans and ask him for an autograph. You cannot look into the camera. Like there's lots of do's and don'ts. But I'm telling you, once you do it once, you're hooked. The only bad thing is we just did a television series where we had to dress everyone in the 1990s, and everybody had to be at set. Are you ready? 4:30 a.m.
Oh,
that's
Be
nothing.
there.
I wake up I'm here at 4 in the morning
you
every day.
are?
Yeah, that's nothing for me.
Yeah, on the weekends I'm here at 2.
You're kidding.
Yeah, so we have no sympathy for these people.
Yeah, no sympathy.
So yeah, these people were in the shower at 2, on the road at 3 to be there at 4. But then they got out at 4 in the afternoon.
Right.
So, it's usually a 12-hour day. But once you do it once, it's pretty exciting and you usually get hooked.
Do you have a favorite experience of your own?
I do, but I don't know if
Sounds like a good story.
You can
Okay.
spill the beans.
Okay, so we were casting The Fighter, and in The Fighter, we needed an ethnic woman who was the lady of the evening. Okay?
Okay.
And it was also the same day we were casting My Little Pony.
Oh, okay. I think I see where this is going, but continue.
So we go in the hallway, and we're like, all right. My Little Pony to the left, ethnic women of the evening to the right. And the little girl goes to her mother, Mommy, am I a lady of the evening today? And she's like, no, Susie, you're here for My Little Pony, you and your ponytails. Very funny.
Is there a big difference in casting people from New England as opposed to, say, on the West Coast? Is there a different vibe of people who go out and look for those positions?
Listen, as you can tell, I am the expert of the Boston accent. And we have different Boston accents. My accent's from Cambridge, so it's a little bit, I have a little New York in my accent. Then there's the Charlestown accent, the Quincy accent. It's pretty similar, but I can detect where people are from. What's worst is when a movie doesn't get a dialect coach and everybody does their own version. All the Hollywood people do their own version of a Boston accent, and that just doesn't. And you know the movies I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Call them out. But, as Bostonians, we pick right up on that. So I always recommend to hire a dialect coach so everybody's at least using the same Boston accent. The trend seems to be now not to accentuate the accent so much because it's such a particular accent that people cannot perfect it unless you're from here. So what we're doing is we're having the leads just do their own voice. And then I populate the film with authentic people that will show the viewer, oh, we're in Boston, just by listening to the barista or the waitress or the nurse. So I'll populate it with just a few people that have a really nice, thick Boston accent like mine. And that's how we do it.
Yeah, and not too many people can get by with the fake accent, as you mentioned.
Oh,
No.
We detect it right away. It just drives me crazy. Oh, wait, I have another funny story.
Go for it.
So one time we were casting something, and I'm like, where is this guy? Why isn't he on set? So we calling his phone and calling his phone and calling his phone and calling all his friends. He was a young guy. Come to find out, he was in jail. Before I started in casting, I worked in the courthouse. So I called the courthouse, called the police officers. We got him out of jail and got him to set.
Oh my goodness. Was he a principal? He had a speaking role?
Yeah.
So next time, not next time, if I ever get thrown in jail, I should call you.
Well,
Okay.
first you have to be cast, and then
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we did. I know they didn't let him out for nothing. I got somebody to go get him bailed out, get the money, all this stuff. But it was just ridiculousness.
But your clients know that you'll get it done.
Yes, we'll get it done. Exactly. Nobody does it like we do it. I have 100,000 people on file. We've been doing it for. I've been doing it for like 32 years. I think Boston Casting's been around for 28 years. Nobody has the depth of database. And speaking of database, if you'd like to be in the movies, go to bostoncasting.com, click on talent application, upload a free photo and a free resume so that the 8 casting directors at Boston Casting can access you and put you in something. If you'd like to do the paid portion, there's a paid portion of the website too, but do not feel pressured. As long as we have you in there in the free portion, all of the 8 casting directors can access you and we'll call you for auditions or extra work.
So what do you do when you can't find the perfect person for a certain role? Or,
I keep digging.
Or if you cast them and you find out, they may not be the best fit.
I keep digging. how many people, what's the population of Boston? Millions.
Yeah.
Millions.
Too many.
So
Have you seen the
I
roads?
just say to my staff, keep digging. He's out there. She's out there. There's millions and millions of people in the city of Boston. We can find it.
Now, if you're someone who wants to go, say you've done a couple of background jobs and you're like, oh, this is kind of interesting. What does Boston Casting offer to kind of take you to the next step if you want to, say, start doing talking roles?
Well, the next thing is acting classes. Everybody, once you get bitten by the bug in extra work, then you want to try out for a speaking role. Speaking role pays about $1,000 a day. Extras pay about $100 a day. So I tell everybody there's like a chain that you have to, a ladder that you have to climb when you want to try to become an actor. And there's a lot of people that are naturals. Not a lot, but a small group of them that I can just give them a script and they remain themselves and deliver the lines in an authentic way. Those people are far and few between. Most people have to kind of explore their own being to see if they, number one, like being an actor, and number two, can cut it. Everybody thinks it's so easy to be an actor.
It's not easy.
It is so not easy. It is so not easy. I tell people that want to explore it to start out with an improv class. And we do classes at Boston Casting, but you can, I'm not here to push those classes, but maybe I am. But you can also explore classes at your local adult education. Each town has it, and they're pretty cheap, but our classes are pretty cheap too.
And there are also a lot of not only stand-up but improv courses and classes that I've found across Boston too.
Right. So you start with an improv class because improv stretches you as a person, as a human being, and lets you find out, am I funny? Mm-hmm. Am I witty? Am I good on my feet? Am I a thinker? Do I come back with a good response? Improv is amazing. And what's great about improv is that there's not the pressure to study lines and memorize lines. So it lets you kind of just explore your own persona. After that, then you have to take Acting 101, or Fundamentals of Acting, I think we call it, where there's the 5 W's, the moment before. There's principles of acting that you have to learn that even Al Pacino still uses those. There's 7 or 8 principles of acting that everybody has to learn, and you have to embed that in your heart and your brain so that every time you get a script, you start using those 7 fundamentals for any script. Then after that, then you can go into commercials. I would suggest commercials first because they're usually a quick turnaround as far as just 3 or 4 lines, and that's not a lot to learn how to memorize because memorizing is hard. So learning how to memorize, that's another class, but take a commercials class. And then from there, then you'd take a monologue class and a character breakdown class if you really want to love it. I would say that there is about $1,000 investment in classes that you should expect if you really want to go on this journey, that you should expect to put out over the course of a year. And then I always recommend people getting a notebook. I mean, I'm old school. Maybe you could do it on your laptop and your phone, but I like an old-fashioned notebook where you write down what you spent on classes, what you spent on headshots, how much money you made in extra work, how many auditions you had. So at the end of the year, you go back and you can assess, did I make any money this year? Am I in the red? Am I in the black? You know, how many producers did I meet? How many directors did I meet? Was it fun? Did I like it? So it's a nice side gig. As far as side gigs go, I think it's a pretty damn good side gig.
And there's a lot of work to be had here.
Oh
Is
my
that right?
God,
It's
a lot of
growing.
work. A lot of work.
Yeah, so how has it been growing year to year, and what are some of the big projects you're most excited about that are coming down the pipe?
Well, what's coming out right now is Wonderland, Defending Jacob, Free Guy. Those are the things we're working on right now. But we did Proud Mary. We did I Feel Pretty, Equalizer 2, Knives Out, Slender Man, Stronger. I mean, those might be a little bit older, but
Yeah, but I got to tell you, last year I got to do Knives Out, and I was initially cast as an extra. I don't know how much I'm actually allowed to talk about because it hasn't come out yet.
yeah, I would. Well, what you need to do, we can say the name of the movie. You cannot say the plot line.
Okay, all right.
So you probably shouldn't say what you were cast as, but you could say you were cast. You were pulled up on set from being an extra and given a line. Amazing.
I became a photo double, from being an
amazing.
extra, and I got to meet the director, who is my favorite director of all time.
Oh,
And
Ryan Johnson?
Yes, I got to meet Ryan Johnson.
From
and
friggin' Star Wars.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
We
Just
cast
Star
that.
Wars.
We cast that. I got to spend, I had a creative day with him.
Oh, you
I
did?
thought
Oh,
I
my
was going
God.
to lose my mind, too.
Wasn't he just
He
the
is
sweetest
amazing.
guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got to talk about Star Wars for like 5-10 minutes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Big Raylo. Yes, Kylo Ren. Ray. Woohoo. I got to talk to him about Star Wars, and I got to be a photo double, and it was just one of the greatest experiences of my life. So I know that I recommend, as a movie buff, I get to do this on occasion, and my day job is journalism, very
I hope
serious.
he comes
but
back. I really hope he comes back.
Well, he has to shoot he has a whole Star Wars trilogy of his own
so
coming
he's-
up.
Yeah, so they won't shoot that here.
So what's a photo double for the ignorant like myself?
It is say they have, I don't know, like a famous actress driving by in a car. Well, they don't need her to stay in Boston that extra day to be driving by a helicopter shot, a long shot down the highway. So we have to get someone, same hair color, same height and weight, and someone that looks like her, and she would be a photo double. Usually for the lead or supporting actresses that can't be in Boston for these long shots.
Now, I have a question because what I've seen on TV and in movies, the cliche of how an actor gets discovered, an agent, a producer, a director is driving down the street and they see somebody walking a dog or drinking a can of Coke, and they say, that guy has it, that guy has it. Does that ever happen?
That happens in my audition room, not walking down the street. Someone will come and audition and they will just sparkle. David O. Russell had... we worked on many of his films here in Boston, and he had pointed out one or two actresses while he was here and said they have the it factor. And it's the same sort of it factor that Jennifer Lawrence has. So the it factor does exist.
That's going to be
But
exciting.
you need to come in and just bring it. And I have a whole theory about preparing for an audition. Like, I think you need to go jogging. I'm a big believer in jogging. And if you don't like to jog, then you just go to the gym and do super vigorous exercise, because that just calms the mind and the body down. Because the whole thing about auditioning is you have to walk into the room 100% confident and not even want the job, and just be yourself and be authentic and sparkle. And the only way that you can really sparkle is you can't be nervous. We're professionals. We're professional middlemen. People are my business. I have 100,000 people I move around. I know everything about people. I could talk to you for 2 minutes and know a lot about you. So as soon as you walk in, we have that sixth sense of how nervous you are. On the scale of 1 to 10, I can tell you right off the bat. And we want to just hire the people that don't get nervous, because you can't get to set and choke.
So how does is there a difference in casting when it comes to reality shows as opposed to movies or TV shows scripted?
I have my Screen Actors Guild actors. They pay a lot of money to be in that union. I have a responsibility to those people to make sure that they are auditioned first, and that's how I like to run my business. I show my clients all of the SAG actors that are available and fit the roles. Like today, I'm auditioning at the office prison inmates.
Awesome.
Not a lot of my SAG people look like prison inmates. I mean, some of them do. So I'm showing him my SAG people. Then I literally had to go into my prison inmate file, which we keep, along with fishermen and crazy stuff. We keep all that.
You just got to make sure they're not in right
I know.
now.
Well, when I was looking for inmates before, somebody gave me his police record, and I was like, really? This is authentic? Yeah. So I'll go through my SAG people first, and then if I don't have it, then I dip into the non-union.
Okay.
But I do have a responsibility to my SAG members, and I am a retired SAG member, so I take that very seriously.
How do you become SAG? If, say, you want
have to
into
get a
this?
speaking role or do 3 days of extra work. Okay. So, and to join, it's about $3,000, $2,000. It's expensive, but you know, it's non-union extras make 100. SAG extras make 200. A speaking role is $1,000, so the rewards are many. Now, when I cast reality TV, it's a different ballgame. I go through my SAG people, but I just kind of go through the masses. People can join our email list at bostoncasting.com, and there's an icon that says add me to your email list. So I love when people are just in our email list, and you don't have to be an actor. I just like the kind of masses in my email list, because when I'm looking for crazy things, like we did a commercial where I needed a female hockey team. So I sent that out in my email list, and sure enough, they all came in. So I like just Bostonians, or New Englanders, because my company reaches as far as New England. I like New Englanders in my email list, so that when I'm looking for kind of crazy stuff, I can just put that out there, and then people go, "Oh, my brother-in-law is a baseball player. He could do that. Oh, you need a plumber? This guy's a plumber." Because sometimes they'll want people that are skilled in certain jobs to know how to do it. We find that a lot in the medical field, because we don't want to put an actress with a PT scan equipment and she doesn't know how to use it right. So that when the show comes out, a real PT scanner will be like, "Oh, she just killed that lady." You know? She just used that machine completely wrong. Same thing with EMTs, you know. So sometimes we try to use the real people in those situations that know how to handle that equipment. Same with police officers, too.
Yeah, so you never know what you're looking for.
Right.
So,
Every day's different.
Yeah.
Every day's different. Today we're looking, as I said, inmates. It's pretty funny. So you'll go to Boston Casting, and today was, we have 2 benches. We have 3 studios. So today was old ladies to the left, prison inmates to the right.
That's wonderful.
You know what's funny?
Lobster fishermen to the left. And, little kids with soccer uniforms, you know.
Yeah, one thing I love about New England, I'm from Los Angeles originally, and when I came over here, one thing I noticed is that everybody I run into on the street, they seem like a movie character. It's so diverse. It's so diverse around here.
It really is. It really, really is. And we have our little pockets, you know. The Southie is, Southie and Charlestown is all the Irish, and then the North End and Medford is all Italians, and then the Latinos are in East Boston, or Latinos are in Italians are in East Boston too. But like, I know where to go for my pockets of people. You know, it's really amazing.
Yeah, they're all super authentic.
Yes,
Like,
they are.
No, but I love, we both love the movie industry, and I love leaving, again, Los Angeles for another place that values.
Let me tell you, we do it bigger in L.A. In L.A., all the casting directors are specialized. So you do features, or you do commercials, or you do voiceovers. Nobody does it like Boston Casting. We do everything. Because we're a smaller market, so I don't, there's not enough work to specialize. So it's just, we have such a big business here that even the LA casting directors aren't as big. I think Central Casting in LA would be as bigger than Boston Casting, obviously, because they do the extras for all the movies. And they have a huge operation.
yeah, would you say it's probably easier to get your break here than it would be going somewhere saturated like New York?
Absolutely. And you get your chance of getting your SAG card are really high, and then you go to LA and New York. You should go to LA for pilot season, which is in January. Try to get an agent before then if you're really into it. And there's people that are so good here that I'll say to them, "Listen, I'm pushing you out the door. I don't want to lose you, but you have to go to LA." you're good. You're ready. You're ready.
How does it feel to find those people?
Oh, unbelievable. Unbelievable. David O. Russell said, I love coming to Boston because I love the locate. I can get anything I want there. I love the locations, and Angela Peri gets me everything I want. Imagine. I mean, David O. Russell said that about the Boston actors. It wasn't really about me. It was about he was so happy with the talent here. Huge, huge. We work with Denzel Washington's director, Antoine Fuqua. He loves shooting here. He loves the Boston actors.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
so
it
if
just
you're
goes
listening,
on
you
and
can
on.
do it. You can do it. Reach
Yeah.
out.
Get on my email list first, bostoncasting.com. Add me to your email list. Do it today. Then if you really want to take it a step further, go to bostoncasting.com, talent application, and then post a picture and a little resume with contact info.
Now, except for making the film tax credit permanent, what would you like to see the market here improve on, or what can make the market better?
More work. I want to compete more with New York. I think the only good tax incentives are in Detroit, really.
I think Georgia too, right?
Or Atlanta, but
Atlanta.
Atlanta's a right-to-work state. I think it's a little different. So I think Detroit has a tax incentive. New Mexico, who's going in New Mexico?
Unless they
Right.
film another Breaking Bad, yeah.
Right, it's all desert. And then I think Rhode Island has a good one. I think Rhode Island's competitive with us, which is fine because it's New England. And I think New York is competitive, but it's just so congested. So it just makes sense to me for them to come here, especially when they are. I think you had asked this question earlier about the authenticity of the Boston actor compared to like an LA actor. When you're going to shoot a show that's all about Boston, isn't Roselli and Isles, isn't that supposed to be Boston? There's a cop show on now that's supposed to be Boston.
One of them.
And it's just so, there's no Bostonians in the show because we carry ourselves completely different. We have a different walk. We have a different cadence. We're so real. When I did a lot of reality TV, I always cast Bostonians in most reality TV shows because we're not fake like LA people. Not that LA people are fake, but LA people come from all over the country. So there's no real authentic Los Angeles people. Maybe there are, but I don't know. I just find the LA people, you know, they're all caught up in the business.
I understand.
And the New York people are so brash. So the Bostonians, we're just real. We tell it like it is. You meet any Bostonian in the street and they have an opinion and they stand by their convictions and they tell it like it is. And that's why reality TV loved putting Bostonians in all their shows. I did the first season of Apprentice, Biggest Loser, Top Chef. We did all those shows in the 90s when reality TV was really big. Fear Factor, we put Bostonians in all those shows. So now I think that when TV and film are coming here and they want to do a movie set in Boston, they love the idea of getting those authentic people. And David O. Russell had set that trend and pace. Is that the right way to say it? Where he really sought out authentic people and pushed me hard to find authentic people to fill roles in The Fighter. And that movie won Academy Awards. It was
Yeah, that was
tremendous.
great.
Yeah. And he set the tone, and everybody followed in pace with that after and tried to copy him.
I
Well,
think that's most of our questions.
Yeah, we
except to
covered
have-
a lot. We'd love to have you back in here again. Is there anything that you'd like to pitch, to plug, let our listeners know?
I think, I just think that if you are retired, unemployed, or your little girl is in dancing school and you just want to try something new, or if you're an actor that's a little stuck and you haven't really started to market yourself, you need to go to bostoncasting.com. So everyone needs to get on our email list. There's a little envelope icon at the top. Add me to your email list, and that's something simple to do. And then if you want to take it a step further and put your child in the database or put yourself in the database, it's just a photo and upload some contact info and a little bit about yourself. And then there's also classes, if you want to see our classes. And what's nice about our classes is we also do just like a weekend workshop. So for $60, you can come in and hang out and see if you like this business. And we also do headshot clinics. So, because again, I'm a retired actress, so I know what it was like. It was so expensive almost to be an actor. So I tried to cut the costs of being an actor. So we're really reasonable. And keep a good notebook. If you want to get into this business, start learning about who's who in town, write everything down, and write down how many jobs you get. And at the end of the year, you'll be pretty impressed with yourself. And there's nothing better than at a cocktail party saying things like, I was in Knives Out, and I got upgraded to a photo double.
I'm best friends with Ryan Johnson.
I'm best friends. I worked with Ryan Johnson from Star Wars. I mean, there's nothing better than that in a conversation.
Yeah.
Last question. Let's leave on this. If Jamie and I, walked into your casting room in the audition room, and you saw us immediately, what role would you cast each one of us as?
I would cast you as the nanny.
Okay.
And I would cast you as the PET tech.
Okay.
I can live with that.
I like a Latin male nurse. Don't ask me why, but I just, and all of our jobs now, we have to show them a lot of ethnic people for a lot of roles. So you could play the young lawyer. You could also play the young lawyer. I could see your hair pulled back in a pony with this business suit on,
Yeah, something like that.
All right, perfect.
We look forward to it.
Yeah, when those roles come out, give us a call. Well, Angela Peri, thank you so much, founder and owner of Boston Casting. Thank you so much. We really appreciate this.
Thank you.